Yesterday's outcome impacted today's results. We managed to recover a losing trading day on Monday and end up on a high note on a Tuesday. We've learned from our mistakes that we made yesterday and managed to go back on our high horse and continue on this new streak. Now, in this recap, we're going to be going over the things we have done differently. I've already explained to you that a loss is a loss, but if you try to get something out of it, it's a learning opportunity in yesterday's recap. So today we're going to be going over some charts, discuss the trades we have taken, and how we managed to go profitable and have a green day. Many people get stuck in a hole, especially after incurring a loss, and this can be troubling for many because people are trying to recoup the things that they have lost, and that's their only focus. Your loss that you had yesterday has no direct correlation to the trades that you take today. So it's important that you trade with the clear mindset and the clear focus. Yesterday I took some time and spent time in the sauna to really relax and go over my trades, see what I did wrong, and now we managed to come back strong here, and we want to keep it that way. So let's go into what happened today's trading day and discuss the key elements. So yesterday, part of the rules that we had broken is that I mentioned that once that 6,700 would break, we would see a strong sell-off as per our predictions that we had mentioned there. So I didn't really follow that report to the T here, but in today's case, I did. And many people that are colleagues of mine that run other Discords, they had a very challenging day. And this is simply because the market opened lower and we've seen a sell-off right off the bat. And this was kind of an interesting thing here. And this was kind of very interesting thing here because the premiums at open were very expensive, and usually people would expect a pop to happen right away because the premiums are so expensive. So we knew that if SPX would be at 66.40, we would see that sell-off continue, right? So that was our bearish gamma. Now going into our SPX chart over here, right? This is a map that we use to pretty much guide us on what the S&P 500 is doing. So what you can see right over here, when you're in the bearish breakdown zone, buying a call in a bearish breakdown zone, you only want to consider doing once you reach the end of that breakdown zone, or consider that at an inflection point. So we've seen that my bottom inflection point at 65.76 was the exact bottom that we had called out. You've seen a strong pop off there, off that specific level. Now going into the channel today, a lot of the trades that we have taken were pure success. So going into the start of the day, we had our ASML put swings from yesterday. So what we had did is that we had taken Tesla 370 put right off the gate at 1.66. Now the reason for this is that we've been shorting Teslas a lot lately. It's simply because of the fact that it hit our level 1 and has been seeing weakness, and we're going to keep shorting it until it sees this 379 or potentially 370. Okay, now looking at the premiums on Tesla here, you can see that if you look at this option chain over here, the premiums are relatively expensive. So this is Tesla option premiums. So we were targeting the 370 simply because of the fact that they estimated weekly lows 370. So we knew that you're not going to have enough deltas, because if you look at the deltas here, anything under 0.1, so for puts is always negative, anything under 0.1 is going to be something that won't move unless if there's a major significant move. So we knew that that was the furthest out we wanted to go. So looking at the option trading chart over here, we can see that there's a pattern where this pretty much is this premium is trading in a range. In hindsight, we wouldn't have known this the time we got in. We got in around at open at the significant point. We've seen a strong momentum move on the premium here. If you're looking from a longer point of view here, we caught the exact moment it would jump, and we got out at the right time. So, and then throughout the rest of the day, it really started to trade in range here. So going back to the trade itself and the graph here, we took this Tesla play and we jumped right in, okay? We waited for the premiums to calm a bit, so we got it at the lower WAP. Eventually, so we got in 946, and in 10 minutes, it managed to give us 50%. We had sold that Tesla for 75%, and then sold our ASML put for another 45%, okay? Part of the reason why we decided to take the profits on that particular play was because of this level 1 bearish that you see right over here. Very tough inflection point. So you see that this inflection point, you've seen a little bit of a pop. Some people actually took calls here and then managed to get a quick scalp. But at the end of the day, we reversed on my weekly level, which is on this chart, okay? Because I got two sets of levels. I got daily levels and weekly levels. So we wanted to sell right there. Once they reversed, they hit this level, and then boom, that's where we started to see a major upside move. So going back into this particular chart, start off the day good with profits on ASML and Tesla right on the open. Now, another interesting setup that I did, and I gave this to the free Discord, is I said the call premiums and the put premiums are way too high. This was during a time when the SPY 664 calls were at around 70 cents here, right? 67 cents. We said we want to buy it at 25 cents. Okay, so it's very interesting detail there. We ended up getting this IREN 52 call, which was also an amazing trade. So we jumped into that. We got back into Tesla 370 puts here because we wanted to swing until it gets to 370. And our strategy today was to keep playing Tesla. The IREN hit 50%, but we wanted to hold that a little longer. As long as it hits 50%, we considered that a win. And going into our IREN chart over here, we believe that with the right catalyst, so that could be NVIDIA, it has an opportunity to hit 553, and if it does, it can really rocket above here, right? So this stock is set up for a move to the upside here. When the market was weak, IREN was green. Okay, so we do like the premiums here. We noticed that the premiums were relatively strong. We mentioned that in our comment right over here, that the upside premiums look very strong, and that was part of the reason why we got in. So we're aiming for this inflection point, this 53, to break. If it happens on a Wednesday, later on in the week, it's more likely to break. If it happens on a Monday, beginning of the week, which we already passed, then it's likely to reject, especially that level 1. Now, going into SPX here, so we did place an order to buy this SPX 6600 put at 1.2. Now, this 6600 put, we got the fill, and most people did in the chat too, at around 134. Okay, so immediately when it went there, it literally rocketed. We took that double, and this was a great sell here. So, we got a banger play in Tesla, IREN, and SPX, and we managed to take that 100% at around 2.4. We decided to swing Oracle. Oracle, we do like for upside move here, simply because it had a strong bounce right at this zone over here. So near our level 1 bearish, was off by $1 or so, right? Which we'll pretty much give it as it is. So we're targeting 238 here and potentially 245. Okay, so we want to see if this is a bottom. You can kind of see based on last week's performance, it does look like a little bit of a bottom. So we're going to keep an eye on that. So that's how our day is. We called out a nice trade on SPX, SPY, and so forth. That SPY trade that I gave actually in the free room at that specific price, it literally was the bottom, right? So that SPY at 25 cents, it was off by a couple cents first. It would have got the fill. It immediately went to 65 cents and went to a high at around 2 to 2.5 from that specific point. So our A+ setups have been crucial to our success, and we're going to keep pushing them. Now, other stocks you want to watch out for this week here is look at QQQ. So QQQ is holding our level 1 bearish for now. Be very careful. It can break down over here if it doesn't manage to go. So we'll keep an eye on that. We already shared Tesla. IWM bounced right off our level 1 bearish so far this week. This had happened today. Very strong resistance at 331. So it will look better as soon as it gets through 236. So keep an eye on that. Nvidia here with earnings. I want to see if it gets to 170 here prior to the release of the numbers. If it does, calls look like a very interesting setup. So we're going to be watching that. Broadcom is stuck in a chop range. We were considering trading this, but we still haven't. PLTR is in a chop range as well between 165, 175. Meta pretty much hit closer to level 2. So I wouldn't want to trade this to the upside. I probably believe that this goes to 575. That and 564, great areas to add equity in my opinion. CoreWeave is stuck in a chop range. This thing is probably not going to move for a bit, but we'll keep an eye on that. So, but one stock that we were trying to get into was MSTR. It looks like it may have bottomed here as well. So we'll keep an eye on this moving forward. So yesterday's results is not going to impact what you do today. But if you trade with a clear mind, clear focus, you can come back and end off the week very strong. So if you guys want to check out our mentorship program where we guide you through these, difficult trading environments, very volatile and high expensive markets, then our mentorship program is there to support you by teaching you how to read premiums and analyze market trends as well as study the news. So see you guys in the next one. And like always, let's get that money.